right, guys, this segment is how do I market my business consistently without burning out? This is a great topic, and as a marketer and taking over 7 businesses to $1 million in revenue, this is phenomenal. And you want to understand that marketing is the basis for success on your business, right? And I've said this on earlier segments. You need to look at your business as a marketing firm that just so happens to have a product and a service that's associated with it. So when you're talking about marketing your business, there's many different avenues you can go. There's content marketing, video marketing, ads. There's going to be SEO. There's many different terms. There's social media marketing. I mean, the list goes on, and we could break this down into so many subcategories on this. But in the necessary need to market your business for sales purposes and to get this minimum viable product out to the customers, what you need to do is have a minimum viable marketing system. This is what you need. So 1 to 2 platforms, focus in on it and drive it home. Now, when you understand marketing, you can know that making a piece of content, you can take that content and syndicate that content into multiple different pieces. For instance, we have a program where we teach you, and this is exactly what I did at multiple businesses of mine. We take a piece of content, we take 100 different videos where it's questions and answer based, quick videos, no intro or outro, and we turn that into website content, email content, video content, and a plethora of other things, including AI agents that will guide people and customers to where these videos are to answer questions to get your average cart value up. If you want more information on that, of course, click below. There'll be a link there that talks about it. It's called our veteran system. But ultimately, if you don't have that, if you don't know how to do marketing, look, getting on social is best, and that is going to be better than most will do, because there's people that run their entire businesses just off of social media. And I'm talking maybe they have 5,000 different contacts or followers or subscribers on a specific platform, and they are able to run those and run information in front of them based on posts, articles, ads, whatever the platform may be, and they get people to come in and do sales by the means of that platform. There's YouTube businesses that make 50 grand a month profit just on having ads ran on there, not to mention the money they're making from brand deals and other things that are offline as well, that they're working joint ventures with other businesses. So really the sky's the limit here, but you need to have a strategy when going into this. So understanding what am I marketing, you have your overall brand that you're marketing first. You got your brand, you need to market that, you need to get people involved in the story, get involved in the movement, and ultimately get involved in what you're doing and come along for the ride. And then you have each individual product that should have its own type of marketing with it, because marketing is different based on different platforms. And I just explained this to somebody the other day that if you have somebody that you're trying to go after on social media, you have to remember somebody that's on TikTok is going to be a different user than somebody that's on Facebook, than somebody that's on Google, or than somebody that's on YouTube, right? Every one of those people are on different platforms for different reasons. And so just simply taking the same video and putting it across every platform, not going to work. You're going to get hits on some, you're not going to get hits on others. Some of it might explode, some of it may not. It's going to bomb. So otherwise, you have to understand what the user base on that platform is. Social media, people are on Facebook to be social. So you have to get them a hook, you have to bring them into a story, and you have a couple of seconds to convert them over into getting off of Facebook or being focused in your product to help solve a problem or a need or something else like that. And then you have a couple seconds to do that. Whereas if they're on Google, they're searching for answers to their problem or searching for solutions. You need to get them in front of that. And that's why those keywords are specific, and the ads on Google are different. One ad, a couple of keywords is all it takes to get somebody to convert over. Not to mention, what's the level of sophistication that somebody has for your brand and for the problem that they currently face and the solution in the marketplace for that problem. It's basically a matrix. You have 3 and 3. You have problem aware, solution aware, and then you have your brand aware of how aware are they that your brand actually is a solution for that problem, right? So you could technically make out of a 3x3, 9 different pieces of content that could go after them. Now, I know this sounds crazy. You're probably like, whoa, this is too much. Look, at a minimum, have a minimum viable marketing system. 1 to 2 platforms where you show up consistently. Have 1 to 2 major pieces of content per week. a video, a blog. I personally like doing videos. We translate that in the blogs. We have questions and answers that are there. There's a method to this, and if you want more information, we have a group below or a link somewhere on this page that will take you to that, where we do talk about that, right? Also, foundersfieldday.com, we share insights there. So other than that, what do you want to do? Batch production. Like when I record these videos, I'm doing batch production. I've done this for a couple of days now. We set aside certain days and I run through all of them. Why? Because the setup's there, I'm in the mindset, I'm in the frame of mind, and ultimately I like doing it in batches. Smaller videos, we've done 40 to 50 in one day. And I'm talking green screen, because the problem is this. If you do a single video, there's onboarding, there's offboarding, there's research involved, not to mention that single video, you have to contact somebody that's going to edit it. You have to go through that process. You have to get a thumbnail made for it. You have to get details written for it. There's things that have to happen in the processing part. Pre-production, post-production, in the video world is what we call it. Well, if you're doing a single video at a time, ultimately this single video is going to take a lot more time than if you were to do it in batches. Not to mention, when you film in batches, you're in the mindset, you're rocking and rolling, you remember what you just talked about in earlier videos, and it seems a little bit more cohesive. Not to mention, when you go get the videos edited, and we talk about this in our virtual scaling accelerator program, when you get these videos edited by somebody else, guess what? I'm coming to them with 40 videos, 50 videos, a batch of videos, whatever the number is, and the editing is going to be a lot less in cost. Why? Because maybe it's the same edits that they're doing for the entire video. Same bed of music, same cuts in and out, zoom in and out every couple of seconds, or whatever the case may be. Removing green screen if we're on green screen. This is not a green screen setup, so this will have a little bit different editing than that. However, I have noticed, and what we have worked with in the past, is people will give you better rates for batch productions than they will for one-off videos, for the same exact reason I explained before. You have to onboard and you have to offboard, pre-production, post-production. When you're switching between projects, there's lag time in between that you have to reacclimate with the project. You have to get involved. If you give somebody batches, boom, they're in the group, they're in the zone, they're in the mindset, and they're able to do it so much faster. Now, we will do a series of content, our posts, our videos, the whole 9 yards. I do batches of content, and it might be a certain batch of something, and then next week I stack another batch of something else on. That way my social media posts, all my planners, all my people that run my socials, they all have different things that they're doing, because they're also monitoring, they're also responding to posts, they're responding to comments, liking, following, unfollowing, the whole 9 yards, right? Well, they're not overloaded with tasks, and I don't have to bring 5 or 6 people onto one platform and have a spike in work, but then I'm worried about getting them more work to continue forward. It's a balancing act, right? And that's what this entire process is. Therefore, get the content, turn the camera on as much as you can. If you get the editors in, if you get other people in to help out, perfect. We talked about delegating before. So you need to repurpose content across platforms to maximize efficiency. Like I told you before, a certain video that's going to be on TikTok is not going to do as well as it is on YouTube Shorts as it would be on Instagram. And so what we try to do is I have people that are experts in this specific space. So I will have my video editors, and I'll have certain video editors that are fluent in certain videos. They know what's working on certain platforms. Sometimes that's a cross between a social media expert and a video editor. Other times we'll get video editors that their whole job is to take long form video content and they section it up into short 60-second, 30-second clips. And then we have a collection of these clips, and then my different social media peeps for each different type of social media will go through, they'll find it, and then they will post it. Now you're probably like, wait a minute, but I'm not there yet. You don't have to be. You can have one person that helps out with this, or you can do it yourself, right up front. You want to understand these things so you can delegate effectively. So doing certain things and automating certain things when available, scheduling posts, email drip campaigns. Email, don't overlook it. I know it seems like it's something so simple, but email is probably the best form of marketing and advertising that you can do, because it's still relevant. You have so much noise every other area of the social media platform. Email, you get directly to somebody's inbox, and if you have good email systems in place, and we have other videos that talk just about that, good email checkers, good email systems, a good CRM, you have a good email sequence and automation setup that gets to the point. These are things that ultimately will help you in the future, because you will have a better response rate. People will come in, they will understand that you're talking directly to them, and they know that you're solving a problem and providing value for them. So these are things that you want to understand. Now, if you delegate, this is so much easier. You don't feel like you're inundated with so many things, right? The video editing, the posting, the graphics, social media engagement, all of it can be delegated. Now, protect your creativity and schedule thinking time. You know, I do sauna first thing in the morning and right before bed. This is thinking time. Sometimes I have the phone in there, sometimes not. But it's time that I set aside that I'm able to just think and understand what's going on in the business without the noise going on. And you should do the same thing. Maybe it's a Sunday morning, maybe it's a Tuesday afternoon, who knows when it is. It might not be the right time for you when it's the right time for somebody else. But whatever that time is, it's best for you to set aside some time to think, to be able to allow yourself to think without distractions, because those are when the best ideas come up. Sometimes it might be in the shower, a warm shower. You know why? Because you're not on your phone, you're not in front of the TV, and you're probably not talking to anybody else. And you're able to actually sit there in your thoughts, get your thoughts into something organized, if you will, and then out onto a piece of paper in a phone or something else like that later on. That's the best time for me, to be frank. So focus on consistency over perfection. Don't perfect everything. Listen, I have video editors and I have images that they put on there, and I look horrible in these images. But guess what? Nobody else is looking at the image going, oh wow, that's a great image. The guy said something cool, but he looks like shit. It doesn't matter, right? Your face is in front of them. They're not gonna judge you by what you look like in the photo, but what the message is that you put out. Remember, people remember you how you make them feel, not what you did or not the message that you're putting out. It's how you make them feel inside. So understanding that, dropping all your barriers down, just letting go and saying, look, I'm gonna allow this to get out there and to make sure this goes through, and I'm not gonna be a perfectionist. I'm just gonna focus on consistency, because I will tell you, in understanding this landscape of business from the business side is also the marketing side. Consistency is the number one problem that the majority of people have. If you can be consistent, you're gonna beat out everybody else, and you're gonna be the person who people consistently see. See that? You be consistent, they consistently see you. Brand recognition, person recognition, you're the public figure in their eyes. You're the person they're gonna come to, because it's when people remember things, they go, what do they remember last? And then they remember, hey, this person did this, or I saw this on social, boom. You're the person they remember last. Ultimately, you get the win for the sale or the contact or whatever the lead or other may be, right? So keys, takeaways from this is gonna be long-term marketing success comes from sustainable systems, not a heroic effort. Don't be the hero in this, just be the person to execute, be the marketer, and grow your business. What's on the next one? How do I build a brand that stands out in my market? I have great tips on this because I've built many. We'll talk to you then.